Hi everyone, welcome to the Bioinformatics Coach channel. In today's video, I am going to show you how you can install BCFTOOLS by compiling and building from source. If you want to read about this tool here, this is the page. I'll leave the page in the description box. So this page, you get to learn about the usage of BCFTOOLS. So BCFTOOLS is a set of utilities to help you to manipulate BCF files. So this is the page. So because we are going to look at installation, we will just move straight to it. So for this activity, what we are going to do is to first download the source code, which will be compressed. After that, we are going to extract the contents and then we compile the source code. After that, we set a path to the binary file or the executable file that will be generated. And that is what we are doing. So now, before you install BCFTOOLS, you need to make sure your PC satisfies these requirements. Your PC should be running a Linux or macOS operating system. Please note that for this tutorial, I will do the demonstration on a Linux platform, but the procedure will also work on a macOS system. You should also have GNU Make available on your system. And you should also have a C compiler such as GCC or CLang on your PC. For this tutorial, I will do a basic installation, but if you want some additional functionalities, you can visit this page. So this gives a detailed instructions on how to install BCFTOOLS and add some additional functionality. So you can just use this. The link to this page will also be given in the description box. So now let's proceed. So let's quickly continue. So there's a page, the GitHub page here where we can download the source code. So I'll begin with this one here. So I'll leave this link here in the description box. You can also use that to visit this page. So on this page, you have some buttons here, green buttons here. We are interested in BCFTOOLS, this one here. So that is what you download. I am going to download it on the command line. So I'll need to get a download link. So I'll just right click and then copy the link. That's what I'm doing. You can also click and download, but if you are working on a remote server like I do sometimes, then you just have to get a link and download on the terminal. So anyway, it's fine. And these are the instructions for compiling or building and installing it, but we will look at it in the later part of the video. So let's go to the terminal and then continue from there. So this is my terminal. So the first thing I would like to do, and also just to make sure, is to go to my home directory. So I'll say cd so that I am in my home directory. Let me do a pwd just to check. So yeah, I am in my home directory now. So the next thing we have to do is to download the source code, the source. So I will use wget. You can also use curl. So I'll say wget and I'll supply it with the link. Like this one here. So from here, I'll just execute. And let me also say again that you can use other tools to help you download, but I prefer to use wget because it's available on my system. So I'll execute it and then I'll let the downloads proceed. So download has been done. Let me clear the screen first here. Let me do an ls and you will see that you have this here. This is a compressed file. So what we need to do is to extract the contents. So I'll use tar. So I'll say tar x vf and then I'll specify the name of the file and then I'll execute. So it will just execute for us here. So this is also displaying the output, the files that are being extracted for us. So it will just take some few seconds. Now it's done. Let's clear the screen. And then let's do an ls. So we have it here. So notice the directory here. This contains the files we need for the installation. Now, we are going to install, so we also need to organize our files. And so, usually I recommend that you have a separate directory where all your applications, so all your tools and softwares are in that directory. So this helps you to separate them from other files that are on your PC. So I'll first create a directory. Okay, so I'll say make the apps. I'll create a directory here in my home directory. I'll do an ls just to confirm it there. And then in that directory, I'll create another directory called BCFTOOLS. So I'll say make the apps/BCFTOOLS. So I have it there. Let me do an ls apps. And I have it here. So that's what we need. We are doing this so that we can just use this in the installation activity, so that all the installation files are placed here. All the installed files, all the files generated, all the executables are placed here. So it's just like if you are using a Windows machine and you are installing, you are asked to give an installation location. So here we are creating the location here, and we will use it later on. So because we are going to use it, it's important we get the path, the full path, or the absolute path for this folder we have created, or directory. Let's put it that way. So I'll cd to it. So I'll say cd apps. Let me do an ls is there. So I'll cd again to BCFTOOLS. Yes. So now that I'm here, I can get the full path by issuing this command pwd. So this will give me the absolute path here. And this is the path that we need. So take note of the path that is displayed for you. Note that yours may be different from mine. So just make sure you take note of the one that is displayed here for you. Okay, now we will go back to the home directory. Because I was doing everything in my home directory, I just need to just do a cd. And then I am back to my home directory. Do an ls, and you will see that you have everything here. So now it's time to do the compilation. It's time to build and install from source. And so you will cd to this directory here. So I'll say cd bcftools -1.14. So I am there. Let's do an ls. And you see all these files there. So we are ready to go. Let's clear the screen first. Now let's check the web page and look at the instructions here. So there's the instruction. We have to first get the configure and then do a make and then make install. So we have a prefix here. Here's where we specify the path where we want the programs that we are generating to go. So that is why we have to create the apps and the BCFTOOLS directory. So take note of this. Now let's go back to the terminal. So now we will call the configure command. So we say /configure. We specify prefix equals /home/students2 /apps/BCFTOOLS. Now the reason why this prefix option here is important is it allows you to install tools without admin rights. So if, let's say, you are working on a remote server where you are not a root, you are not an admin, then using this, it helps you to install tools in your home directory. So that is why we are using this option here. So let's run this command. So we wait whilst it proceeds. So now the configure script has been completed. Let's check. Let's clear the screen first. And now we are ready to proceed. So the next step is to use the make command here. So we'll just go back and say make. That's how it is. And then we run it. So the make command will also be executed for us, and then we proceed. So let's wait whilst it is being done. So the make command has also been executed. So let's clear the screen. The next and final stage is the make install, which is here, make install. So that is what we are going to do. So let's go back and issue that command. So we say make install, and then we execute. So that has also been done. So we are ready to check. Now you have some of these statements here to let you know where the files have been stored. But of course we know because we got the path already. Now, because I did everything on my home directory, I'll just do a CD and then do an ls. So everything was here. So let's do an ls apps / BCFTOOLS. So we have everything here. Now, the bin here, bin here, this is where you have the executable. So let's say ls apps BCFTOOLS/bin. And you have the BCFTOOLS utilities here. So if you want to call any of these utilities, you need to just call them here. So let's even try something. So here, let's check this thing here. There's something I want to show you there. So there's manual. So you can also add that to your path if you want to just look at the manual. But I will skip that one. I'll focus on just the BCFTOOLS. So I'll just skip that one. Now let's test BCFTOOLS. With the current setup we have, if you want to run BCFTOOLS, you need to specify the path, the full path. So from my home directory here, if I want to call BCFTOOLS, I'll say apps/BCFTOOLS/bin/BCFTOOLS. And then you have this being shown here for you. So this is how we look at it. Now, with the current setup, let's clear the screen first. With the current setup, we always have to specify a full path like this. And so, if I say BCFTOOLS now, there is nothing there. But then we have to configure our system such that we can always just call BCFTOOLS by its name, like this, and then we get it done. And so that's what we are going to look at next. Now, if you want to be able to call BCFTOOLS just by the name here, I'll give you two ways. So if you're on the terminal now, you can just look at the path, the four parts of where the BCFTOOLS executable is, and then just export it. So let's do this. Let's go to it. Let's say cd apps BCFTOOLS bin. Let's do an ls. We have them there. We want the path to this directory, the full path. So I'll say pwd. And I have it here. So that's what we are going to use. We need this part here. Now let's CD back to our home directory. So if I want to issue BCFTOOLS with just the name, there are several ways I can do it. So one of them is this way. I will say alias BCFTOOLS equals, and I'll specify this full part here, /home/students2/apps/BCFTOOLS/BCFTOOLS. So I can call BCFTOOLS now, and it's done for us. Okay, so there's one way. Let's clear the screen. That is one way of doing it. So with this, you can just put it whenever you want to run a bash command. You can just issue this command and it's done for you. But there are other ways that are much better. Another way that you can also look at it is this way. Let's do it this way. So let's undo what we did by saying on alias BCFTOOLS. Now if you say BCFTOOLS, there's nothing there because we have undone what we did. So whenever you open a new terminal, just know that the on alias automatically have been executed. So that means setting it like this is not always automatic. You have to always do it when you open the terminal. So I want to show you one which is more permanent, and I will do that shortly. The second way that you can also get BCFTOOLS and other ones here is to use the export, where we export the paths. So let's look at that. So I can say export path equals $path, and then I'll get the path of the BCFTOOLS, which is the bin. So I'll say /home /student2 /apps /BCFTOOLS /bin. There's another way. Please be careful and always follow this part here carefully. So just do as I've done here. So we call the $part and then we just separate it with a colon and we add a new part here, which is the BCFTOOLS. So when we have this, let's run it. Now let's call BCFTOOLS. And it's also done for us here. So there's another way to do it. Let's clear the screen now. So these are the two ways that you can use to run BCFTOOLS without having to specify the full path. But all these I've done, they are temporal, because you do it when you are on the terminal, but we can make it more permanent. And that is what we are going to do next. So let's proceed. Now with the permanent one, you can use any of those two methods I've specified and then you put them in your .bashrc file. But I would prefer to use this one here, the export part that I did. Okay, anyway, it's fine. So I'll just go back to it. So to make these changes here more permanent, to make it permanent, we have to edit the .bashrc file and put them there. So first of all, I'll make a backup of my .bashrc file. So I'll say cp.bashrc.back like this. It's just a copy so that we can always reverse the old one if something happens to the original one. So now I'll just use a text editor, any text editor, Nano or VI or Vim or whatever, to edit the .bashrc file. You can also use the profile, but I prefer to use the .bashrc file. So I'll say nano.bashrc, and then I'll just scroll down somewhere here, and then I'll issue the command. So I'll say export paths. Let me issue it here. Export path equals $path /home /student2 /apps /BCFTOOLS /bin. Okay, so now we have it there. You can also add other ones to cater for the manual, but I will leave those ones for another day. So that's what we do. So from here, I'll just exit. So once we have it like this, we just exit. So mine is Ctrl X, and then I will save the changes. Okay, so from here, the changes will not take effect unless you open a new terminal or you issue another command called source. But let's open a new terminal. So open a new terminal, and then you can now type BCFTOOLS, and you have it there. Let's clear the screen. You can also get the full path, so you say which BCFTOOLS, and it will give you the full path as well here. So this is how we do it, and it's fine. So I believe this has been helpful, so you can just use this to install or set up BCFTOOLS for your bioinformatics class. And let me also say that there's another approach to install BCFTOOLS, and that is to use Anaconda. I have covered a tutorial on that as well, so you can just watch that to set up BCFTOOLS on your system. So that will be all for this tutorial. Let me also get your comments and have some discussions going. See you in the next video.